and these are cases where I think there's a decent amount of deception and error in bringing the charges in the first place.
So, after 10 years as a public defender, what made 2024 the year that you decided I'm gonna go start my own thing?
Yeah, well, I had trying some of these cases was very exhausting, and some of my cases, they were very powerfully and emotionally draining, and I had lost some momentum at that point. I needed, because I work on cases of all sorts, and some of them are extremely tragic and very difficult. I had lost some momentum. I had also been wanting a change. I like the serious cases that I work on, but I'd also always been interested in civil rights. Being not just a defender, but also a person that brings a cause of action, somebody that brings a wrong and takes the truth and builds a case and proves it and tries to right the wrong in a positive sense. So not just defending, but also bringing a case. And I had always wanted to do that. I was very fortunate to get public service loan forgiveness. So I got my loans forgiven. So I'm very grateful for that. I was fortunate to get that, and I think just my energy and my curiosity and desire to also to build, being a business owner has been kind of a rejuvenation for me, working on like a whole new set of ideas and principles. At the public defender, it was an amazing job. It was a great service, but I would have cases and I'd just be given cases. Here's a case, here's a case, and all I do is work on it. Now I have a different sort of world where I put together, a brand. I try to get the name out there so people that are great clients can find me, and I can choose the best cases, the cases I can achieve the greatest justice on. I've enjoyed building that and selecting the cases. I still have homicide cases. I still have very serious matters, but I also have all different sorts. And what I really love is when I have a case that has the intersection of both the criminal justice, but also a civil rights issue that I can.
What's something memorable case you're working on either now or worked on in the last year or so?
Yeah, so a lot. So I have some discrimination cases, cases of racism, especially. I work hard on those. Right now, I have some cases where the police used very excessive force on my client and harmed him. And these are cases where I think there's a decent amount of deception and error in bringing the charges in the first place. And for example, I have a case now where I have a client and he was wrongfully pulled over. They thought something very false about him. They thought he was in a stolen car, but he just wasn't. And they used an outrageous amount of force to pull him out of this car. And even after he had surrendered, they shot him with a foam pellet in the back, caused pretty bad injuries to him, and then they prosecuted him for a long time. And I was the defender on that case, but now I intend to bring a lawsuit for the excessive force, which was just totally unreasonable. And I love that because I represent my client and I fight for him zealously, but now I can do something with a larger impact, which is this was a wrong, and we need people that can look at our own government and say, when you step out of line, there's recourse, there's a way of getting justice, and I think that creates a policing mechanism for our own government.